What is going on, everybody? In this video, we're going to be going over the solutions to quiz number 1, and yeah, let's get after it. First question we see here, we're asking for what is logged. We see var is set to variable x with a value of 5. What would we expect to happen? And the answer is undefined. And why is this? We see here we get undefined. So we get this because this var here in JavaScript is hoisted up to a value like this. And so the JavaScript actually sees this code after it does its compile step. And that's why you get undefined. And it hoists up this value, the declaration, and then it waits for the value to be assigned later on. Okay, question 2. Same thing as last time, except we're dealing with let instead of var. What do we think will happen here? Reference error, cannot access A, undefined, or do we get 10? Pause now if you want to do it. If not, reference error, exactly what we expected. Yeah, so this value or this variable is still hoisted up here, but it's not declared. It's with no declaration, or you're going to get a reference error when you try to access it. To go further into this, this is an example of a temporal dead zone. Variable hoisted, but not accessible. Reference error thrown here. Same type of problem, but using a different way to build a variable. Okay, next question. We're calling the function greet. We see var, so we know from our previous question kind of what var does. We get a function, hello, and yeah, so pause now if you want to answer this question. If not, we're going to answer it in 3, 2, 1. It is a type error. Yep. Greet is not a function. So why would it say that? We learned earlier that var greet, we know what that does. Var greet is going to start like this. And then the next line of code we see is run greet. But greet is not a function. So greet starts out after JavaScript does its compile step as undefined. You try to run that as a function. The first thing you're going to get is greet is not a thing. And let's see, when I run this actual code, we get type error, greet is not a function. Let's go and comment this out. And I'll run the actual code just to prove that. And yep, that's what we get. And that is just because we learned that this gets hoisted up as undefined. You can take this var away. And this is really what the JavaScript is seeing here. So you're not going to be able to access that at all as it's undefined. And everything in there is not set until you get to this point. Okay, the last question might be a little bit trickier. What is logged by the inner function? So what it's asking here is, what does this console log put out to our console? And let's see, let's try to break this down a bit. We have var x is equal to 1, so that creates a global variable. In the outer function, it is called function outer. Okay. Next line is console log x, so that would output 1. Another function is built here, and then it is called. We're inside a different scope here, so we see console log x, and then var x is assigned to 2. Well, since we're in a different scope, this var x here is going to do what we showed on the previous var example, but inside this scope. And so it's actually going to be a shadow variable and cover up your global scope. And so if I just showed this as an example here, what it would look like in JavaScript's point of view, it's what we've seen in the past, which is you will get undefined here, console log, undefined, x is assigned to 2. So it's the same thing, but trying to be a little trickier here in this question if you understand scope. So you can go ahead and hit undefined, and just to run the code, you get 1 undefined. And the running double is just React. Don't have to worry about that. But that is the conclusion of the quiz. Hopefully you learned something. See you in the next one.